data in R. There are a number of ways for importing the data into the R. Some of the formats we can use are through CSV file, through text file, through a web URL, a Excel sheet or a Google sheet. So let's start making data in R. First, we are using CSV file format. CSV stands for comma separated values and it is used to store the data in a tabular form. The command that we use for CSV file is read.csv. Let's go to R. First, let's make a sheet in CSV format. I am using Microsoft Excel for that. What we can do is we can create the data that I have created here. I have taken roll numbers, name, age and gender. I have taken 10 roll numbers, 10 names, 10 age, their age and their genders. So I am saving this data as a CSV format. So how can we save this? We can go to save as, and wherever you want to save the file, save as type should be CSV, that is comma delimited format, and you can save this file. The file should be there in the folder in which your codes are there, where you are saving your all the files so that it can pick up your file easily. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a variable x. My function to read CSV file is read.csv. Within brackets, I am typing the name of the file, that is test.csv. You can check, I have a file name here named test.csv. I am taking header as false. What is header as false or true? It means whenever you are giving a value or a data to R, it will automatically convert it into tabular form. But if you are making header false, it means it will not take your headings as a heading value and it will be taken as a normal observation. You can see I have executed the command. Now let's check the value in this variable, that is x. So what it has done is it has taken roll number as a sequence of that vector. So it has created vector 1, vector 2, vector 3 and vector 4, and roll number is a part of that vector. It is not a heading because I have selected header as false. Similarly, we can do header equal to true. So what will be the change? Let me show you. I am executing this command, that is read.csv within brackets and inverted commas the file name, and header is true. So in this case, my headings will be shown as first labels and not as plain text. Let me print the values of j. So you can see now roll number, name, age and gender are my headings here and others are my observations. So it is very easy to import a CSV file into R. There is one more way you can import the data. The next way to import the file is URL file. So what we are doing is whenever we are getting a URL or online web link, it should be in CSV format in order to import it into R, and the command for that is to read that file is read.table. It is the main function to read that URL and it will convert, what will happen is it will convert your CSV format into a tabular format. So let's go to R and check the data. So what we are doing is there is a link I have here. It is the all the local radio stations and their details available publicly. It is in CSV format. Now what I am doing is I am saving this URL in a vector, in a variable ABC. So in ABC within inverted commas I am saving this file. Now I'll read it. How do I read that CSV file into R? I am making a variable radio is equal to read.table is my command. Within brackets, first thing that I am doing is ABC, that is this vector. I am giving this vector the file which I want to read. Next is header. It should be true so that all the headings are taken in their original form. Separator, all the files are in separator, all the columns and values are separated by commas, and string as factor is false. So what is string as factors? Strings as factors do not convert every or the categorical values into factors, that is a categorical format, it will keep all the vectors in their original data type. So I am going to run this command. I have saved it in ABC. Then there is radio variable. I have executed my command. Now what I am doing is I am viewing this radio variable. Now what happened is there is one more tab here with name radio. So what we have done is we have created this variable radio in order to view it in a Excel kind of format or rows and column format. The command is view with a capital V. There should be capital V, view within brackets name of the variable. What it will do is it will show you the data in the form of rows and columns. So you can see column 1 is of state, next is their URL of every radio station, name of the station, their town, and so on. You can see it is a very big file. You can also, like I have in earlier case, I have read this file that was test.csv. You can see I have saved it in my files. You can check it here. I can click this here and view file. What it will do is I can see that as it is a CSV file, so it is separated by commas and it is not in the form of table, because in this we have given read.csv, but in this file when we are importing the data through URL, we have taken the function read.table, which what it is happening is my data is converted into tabular form. So it is very easy to import the data. Next is text file. So what is a text file? The extension always ends with txt, that is a simple format, and text file are the plain text that we can enter in any form, like it is in Word or any of the format. We can also create it through Excel files. Like I'll show you how can we save a Excel file to a text file. We can also create it in R also. And the function that we use in R is read.table, similar to the URL one. It will convert the data into tabular form. Let's go to R. First, let's go to Excel. I'll show you how to save the file as a text file. So I have created this file. It is the same file which I have saved as CSV. Now I am saving it as a text file. So what we can do is we can go to save as, and in save as type it should be a text MS-DOS. I am not taking it as Macintosh. I am taking it as MS-DOS here and saving the file. I have already saved it, so I am not repeating it again. You can see I have saved the file as test.txt. If I view this, so what happens is it is showing a plain text. There is tabs here. There are gap of tabs. It is tab separated file. How to read this file in a tabular form? So what you can do is the command similar to the first one. It is read.table. Within the brackets, it's test.txt. I am running this command. I'm sorry, I have selected the wrong one. So what I am doing is I am executing the command and printing the values. So now what happened when we are executing when we are reading a CSV file, like earlier when we read here, if we do not take header as false here, what will happen is by default it is true. By default header is taken as true in read.csv format, but when we are doing read.table, it will take it as plain text and not as a heading. So for that what we will have to do is we'll have to make header equal to true. We will have to give that command. As you can see, when it was not taken, there were four vectors created, and roll number, name, age were taken as an observation and not as headings. In next command, what I have done is I have given header equal to true. Now let's print the values. Now you can see each of the heading is correctly placed on their heading place and are not taken as observations. You can also import the data from this pane where we have environment. And what is environment? Actually, environment helps you to check all the variables that you have created. It will be saved in that environment. So what you can do is go to import dataset, and from text, so there are different types of ways you can import the data. One of them is text. So you can take a file, whichever is your text file. So you can just go and open it, and it will, you can see what they have done is you are imputing this file, and data frame will be created in this format. Okay, so I have already imported the file. I am not doing it again. I am just showing it to you. You can do string as factor as check marked, or you can remove it.